The following is a recording of me, Sarah Neela Elkins, reading Book of CoL, The Ember Child, chapters 13 and 14 on Friday, May 3rd, 2024. Content warning, there is strong language in these chapters. And let's get started. So today I will be reading Book of CoL chapters 13 and 14. 13 has two parts, 14 is one part. Content warning, there's violence and cursing. Of course. But it's fantasy violence. Like this entire story is fantasy violence and body horror. So again, today I'm going to be reading The Ember Child, chapters 13 and 14. Let's begin. Chapter 13, Monday, February 17th. 6:14 a.m. Anna. Babe, what's your favorite bird? 6:14 a.m. Eugene. What? Why? 6:15 a.m. Anna. Because babe is cliche and you don't look like a chickadee. 6:15 a.m. Eugene. Starling. 6:15 a.m. Anna. Those loud, ugly sky rats? 6:16 a.m. Eugene. They're loud, yeah, but they're super smart and affectionate. They don't take any shit. 6:16 a.m. Eugene. Did you know they can even talk? It's pretty rad. 6:16 a.m. Anna. You know a lot about them. 6:16 a.m. Eugene. You asked for my favorite bird, Anna. 6:17 a.m. Anna. That I did. Lol. 6:17 a.m. Eugene. I gotta head to the station for work. Love you. 6:17 a.m. Anna. Let's have dinner when we both have off. My starling love. 6:17 a.m. Anna. Okay, that does have a ring to it. XOXO. I exit the elevator and get a few steps into the courtyard before I hear someone shout, "Oh, shit!" The noise, I find, came from Thunderskull. He's still in basic, a Latino man about my height, wearing a gray hoodie that's designed to look like armor instead of actual plate steel. The sweatshirt is oversized, which probably works well for the cast his arm's presently stuck in. He's also wearing medieval-looking leather boots over dark denim jeans. Aside from the broken arm and a sling, it's not a bad look. I respect him for sticking to a theme. Afternoon, Thunderskull, I say as I pass him. He quickly rushes over to me and follows. Look, man, I am so sorry about Sunday night. I didn't mean to piss you off like that. No more parties ever again. What?
JW's gonna borrow your car.
That's fine. I'm in the middle of my book reading. Okay, I'm gonna start over, but not from, it's fine. Okay. That's fine. It's okay. I exit the elevator and get a few steps into the courtyard before I hear someone shout, "Oh shit!" The noise, I find, came from Thunderskull. He's still in basic, a Latino man about my height, wearing a gray hoodie that's designed to look like armor instead of actual plate steel. The sweatshirt is oversized, which probably works well for the cast his arm's presently stuck in. He's also wearing medieval-looking leather boots over dark denim jeans. Aside from the broken arm and a sling, it's not a bad look. I respect him for sticking to a theme. Afternoon, Thunderskull, I say as I pass him. He quickly rushes over to me and follows. Look, Man, I am so sorry about Sunday night. I didn't mean to piss you off like that. No more parties ever again. I stop walking. He flinches when I turn. I shake my head. Just be more considerate about people needing to sleep, I say. I mean, the party's a security risk to the entire complex. I've heard y'all have had problems with vandals and shit, right? Well, yeah, he nods. No more parties, got it. I rub the bridge of my nose between my eyes. That's not what I said. Just be more careful with who you let in and end the party a bit earlier so people who have to work can get some sleep. He freezes up. I wonder if him punching me in the face somehow injured his brain rather than just shattering his arm. There was a lot of recoil that hit him. Are you okay, Thunderskull? I ask. If you need help with your medical bills, I am willing to do that. It was my face that you broke your arm on, and all. That snaps him out of it. What? I gesture to his cast with an open hand. He flinches again. I said I can help pay for your medical bills. Why would you do that? Again, my face, your arm. He shakes his head. I've got it covered. I just don't understand. I thought you hated me. You didn't know what you were getting into, I say. I can't hate you for that. I should have held back more. You just stood there, he replies in disbelief. By this time, several other people from Little Asgard Heights have noticed our conversation. A few folks watch from balconies while others linger a little more closely in the courtyard, still keeping their distance. I spot a couple mermaids gazing at us from the pool while trying to pretend they aren't. I'm sure everyone's heard about Thunderskull's last party. They probably all know I'm a Class S by now, as well. Who knows? Maybe they know I'm booked, too. If things get too annoying, I'll just move back to the country and live in anonymity, shelving groceries. That would be fun. Except everyone there knows I'm a CoL now. Oh, gods, Karen probably knows shit. I'll have to pick a new small town and find a new grocery store where no one knows me. Why does the thought of going back to my old life make me feel like I'd be losing something incredibly important? I didn't just stand there, I say. I hardened myself way more than I should have because I could tell your punch was coming. I was fully aware that it could hurt you, but I did it anyway. It's my fault, not yours. I shrug. Do you mind me asking how long you've had your powers? A year last month, he says quickly. More people have turned up around the area to listen in. I feel their eyes on me. There's more people in basic now than before. Like they've shifted to watch. I wonder if this is the most exciting thing that's happened lately, and then I realize what it is. They know it was me at the club. I shut my eyes and take a deep, calming breath. I could speak louder, but everyone in the complex is a CoL. The ones listening have probably modded themselves out to hear better or see better or something. Even most of the more common lower classes of CoL can modify their ears. I don't want to blow any eardrums. I've had my powers a lot longer, I say. I'm sure a lot of the people here have already figured out who I am. What I can do. If anyone has a problem with me staying at Little Asgard Heights, just let me know. I can move if you like. Everyone watching seems even more tense than before now that they realized I noticed them watching us and wasn't just addressing Thunderskull. I shut my eyes again and take another breath. In fact, just write on a piece of paper if you'd like me to stay here or move. Slip it under my door. I'm in Unit 221, I say. Probably going to be out all day, so you won't have to worry about running into me for a while. Thunderskull stays silent, as does everyone else as I leave. I'm surprised my eyes get watery after I exit the building. I could use my powers to stop them, but I don't. I just wipe away tears with my sleeve cuff. Ember Child, Chapter 13, Part 2. It's not hard finding the location of the CoL church using my smartphone. I skimmed their website and didn't find much information beyond service times and that they use different names for CoL classes than I'm used to. The site also has the address listed. I could have just checked out any number of the billboards around the city that read things like, "It's time to get cool," or "Jesus was a savior class, hallelujah." I find a nice secluded alley to shift in, making myself masculine again, but younger than normal. I opt for about 19 or 20 years old, thin and reedy, with slightly longer brown hair, not shaved anywhere. I shift my clothing again so I'm not dressed like a 35-year-old. Then I call up a rideshare while I'm walking. The driver has no idea who I am, which is the point of having shapeshifted. I don't look like I did at the nightclub, at least. Neither of the human faces I used last night, nor the flesh beast form I had. I do get a bit of a look when he drops me off in front of the CoL church, but he takes my cash tip and doesn't say a word. The church is a big red brick building that seems oddly shaped to me, which is saying something coming from a person who can basically become any shape they want. It's like the whole thing is sideways compared to how a sensible person would set up a church, with the focus being one of the corners instead of a wall. Huge stained glass windows sit at right angles to one another. There's no bell tower or spire on the angled roof. The thing reminds me of a giant metal taco sitting on a wedge of red velvet cake covered in candy chunks. There are certainly some buildings I have thought of becoming. This is not one of them. It looks pretty bad. I hunch my shoulders up and duck my head down with my hands in my jacket pockets. There are a few vehicles in the parking lot, and the front door is open. I make a point of looking like I'm not sure I should be here, like I'm scared and lost. Someone inside spots me. "Excuse me, can I help you, excuse me, young man," a masculine voice says. "Can I help you?" I glance up to see the bearded face of the attacker from the nightclub last night, albeit with darker hair that's peppered with gray and more weather-worn skin. They're not wearing a white suit. Instead, they wear workmen's coveralls marred by green grass and dark oil stains. Their bearing is completely different. Their hands are knobby and skin a bit leathery and thick. This is a person who does manual labor, who works hard to keep things other than themselves clean and functioning. Does this person know their face has been all over the news? "I need help," I say nervously. I saw the billboards, and yesterday The maintenance guy's eyes get a bit wider. "Oh, my boy, come with me. I'll take you to Pastor Ezekiel. He will be able to help." I let them wrap an arm around my shoulders and go with them into the church. The inside is chilled by air conditioning going full blast. I wonder if these people took the name CoL literally, as what the temperature of the building should be as we pass through the front lobby area into a wide hallway that curves away from us in either direction. I really hope the corner with the windows isn't the only right angle in the whole place. Ahead of us is a pair of large double doors with a decorative wooden table next to them that's covered in flyers. The maintenance guy releases my shoulder and quickly picks over the table before picking up a few of the papers. They hand them to me with a pained smile. "These may help," they say. They wrap their arm around my shoulder again and direct me where to follow. The sky is shaking. Do they know who I am? Are they just frightened because their face was on the news? Is there something else going on I'm not aware of? Do they just not like this building as much as me? We walk down the curved hall, past another set of double doors, across from an entrance to the restroom, and then finally reach a much more fancy carved wooden door that's also taller than the others. The maintenance person releases my shoulder and hesitantly knocks on the door 3 times. Then, realizing they hadn't knocked very hard, they do it again more loudly. "It's not me this guy's scared of, is it?" "What is it?" a clear voice like a bell, complete with reverb, asks from beyond the door. Pastor Ezekiel, the maintenance person begins. There is a child here to see you, sir. I do not miss the emphasis of the word child, nor do I miss that the person with the beard is shaking even more now. I want to ask if they're okay, but the part I'm playing, the scared young man who has just developed supernatural shapeshifting powers, wouldn't ask. He'd be scared too. I make sure I also jump when the door opens. A 7.5-foot tall person standing in the doorway then bends down a little before shifting to be just small enough to fit. They've got softly wavy golden hair, glowing blue eyes, pale skin like porcelain, white slacks, shoes, and a white dress shirt with a white necktie. The hair looks to be threads of actual gold that shines brightly on its own, but really becomes obnoxious when a ring of light pops into existence above the person's head. Here's the illustration of Pastor Ezekiel. Pastor Ezekiel will help you, the maintenance person says quickly. I should get back to work. Please, do come in. I wait outside the room as the pastor goes back into what I can now see as an office. Then I put on a brave face and follow. I'm Ezekiel. I believe most people your age have been asking about pronouns. It seems rather silly, but I will oblige you to know that I am male, he says. Me too, I reply weakly. I gathered that, Ezekiel says. Please, close the door. I do as he says, and make sure to mimic the shakes the maintenance man had while I shut the door. Please, do not be frightened, he says with a pleasant smile. I know my countenance can be overwhelming for most, but it is simply my true nature as a seraphim. A seraphim? I ask, still standing by the door. He gestures to the crumpled flyers in my hand. I believe you hold the answers in hand already, but I will explain nonetheless. I glance down at the papers before looking back up at Ezekiel. I am a seraphim, he says, which is to say I am the second most powerful child of our Lord who can exist. The most powerful, of course, is our Lord Jesus Christ. One would call him a class SR and myself an S. Oh, fuck. This was not on the website. Is he really a class S? Was the person last night wearing a white suit to pin things on this guy? I really don't know what to say or do at this point. Ezekiel walks around his desk to sit in a chair that seems oversized despite him being at least 6.5 feet tall. He points an open hand to a big leather seat on the other side of the desk near me. Please, have a seat, young man, he says. My shakes are a bit more real as I stumble a few feet before sitting. I grip the flyers in my hands, crushing them more. I know this can be very overwhelming, Ezekiel says. When I first awakened to my gift, it was very moving. I look up at him nervously. How long have you been, he smiles warmly. 10 years. Why have I not heard of this guy? I've read some about the Class S's that have been studied, I say disjointedly. It's not hard to let my unease come through. It is most unfortunate that those heathens have, as of yet, commanded the discussion on our powers, Ezekiel says with acid in his voice. It's no longer quite as pure and ringing. The bell has cracked. But, as God has planned, we are here to guide new children, such as yourself. Please tell me, when did you gain your powers, and how did you know? Yesterday, I say. I was on my way home, and my hair changed color. He tilts his head slightly. Show me. I shut my eyes. It's something I've seen younger CoLs do when they first get their powers. The less powerful, less experienced, need to focus and try harder at what they're trying to change. I slowly alter my hair color to make it a light purple. and then I open my eyes and make a show of checking the tips of my hair to make sure it's shifted. Very good, he says. I'm sure you'd like to learn to do more, yes? Perhaps even something like this? Ezekiel points up to his halo. I nod. I have no idea how he's doing that. It shouldn't be possible to shift something that's not touching yourself. Clothing is pushing it, and it has to be specially made. It took us forever to get it to work. He smiles, his voice once again sickly sweet and ringing. The books you may have read have been filled with lies and misinformation, my son. The children of our Lord can show you how to advance your class. Be you initially a devout, chosen, blessed, or angel, all can become seraphims. That is bullshit. How? I ask. His smile grows. By following the Lord and his teachings. I gaze at the flyers in my hands as if I'm actually considering it. There's no way to increase one's abilities when it comes to CoL powers. We've tried that for 10 years. Nothing works. Some people have gained more experience and skill using their powers, but if there's something they can't shapeshift into, then that's it. I've seen so many Class A's tire themselves out trying to do what I can. Our next service is tomorrow evening at 6:30, Ezekiel says. You're welcome to attend. There's a knock at the door, and I make sure to jump. What is it? Ezekiel asks loudly, less pleasantly than before. Pastor Ezekiel, the maintenance man begins. Someone else is here to see you? He smiles at me as he gets up and then motions with his hands for me to stand. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to come back. I stand and clutch the papers like a life preserver. Ezekiel gestures to me to go to the door with him, which I do. I need to know what I'm up against. Just before he reaches the knob, I ask one final question. How many seraphims are there here? He cocks an eyebrow. At present, there are 3, he says with a smile of teeth that are so white they don't merely seem to glow. They actually are glowing. When he closes his lips, I can still see the light through his alabaster skin before it fades. How obnoxious. I do not trust this guy. As Ezekiel opens the door, I'm shifting my inner ears to make them more sensitive. I need to look for any clues while I'm in the building. If Patrick is here, maybe I can hear him. They'd be idiots to keep him in the church, but it's worth checking. I can hear people shuffling around the building, but nothing that sounds like a kidnapped child, nor his dog. There are some birds nesting under the eaves of the back portion of the roof, and some large roaches in one of the exterior walls that I hope isn't near the kitchen. Excuse me, the person on the other side of the door shouts in a deep baritone that makes my modified ears ache. Are you the guy in charge here? I try not to stare at the large black person in front of me. Tall, muscular, masculine, a short fuzzy beard with hints of gray at the sides. I'd think it was a stranger if she wasn't wearing the same gray and pink sweats I last saw her in. Why, yes, Ezekiel says. I'm Pastor Ezekiel. I oversee this church. However, our Lord Jesus Christ is the real one in charge. How may I help you? Eterna blinks a few times and shakes her head. You've got to do something about those billboards. They're all over the city. They're an eyesore. I will keep that in mind, Ezekiel says. I don't know what to do. Eterna's blocking my exit, and she's obviously reached the end of whatever her plan was. I really hope she doesn't try fighting this guy. I have no doubt he really is a Class S. It's even possible he's the one who attacked the nightclub last night. Sure, there's not many people in the building right now, but I'd rather avoid a fight. While I don't trust Ezekiel, it's possible he isn't the one who attacked and is being set up by someone else. Either way, a fight here would make things worse. Mister? I begin shakily. I'm not short at the moment, but Eterna is still a bit taller than me. I need to go home. She looks down at me with some confusion, and then a bit of realization crosses her face. I take it she's not used to being addressed as a man. Eterna nods and backs up. Oh, sorry, kid, she says. I leave the office quickly. As I travel down the curved hallway to the exit, I'm silently praying to Loki and any of the other gods who may be listening that Eterna isn't about to start a fight. If she does, I'll break my cover and step in. I'm hoping she's smart enough to leave. I keep my hearing sharp enough to catch what's going on behind me. "We will consider your concerns regarding the billboards," Ezekiel says, his voice sickly sweet. "Good," Eterna huffs. "That works." I'm going down the steps when I hear her start pounding down the hallway where I had just been. I stuff the papers into my jacket pocket and pull out my phone like I'm looking for a ride while I keep walking. Behind me, Eterna emerges from the building. She doesn't follow me directly, which surprises me. Did she not realize who I am? And if she didn't, then how the hell did Martin Aaron know I was the person he'd try to kill? I look up and see Eterna disappearing over the edge of a hill down the street. I'd call her, but don't want to risk that someone from the CoL church is watching us. If I made a call and she answered it wouldn't take long for someone to connect the dots. I wish weren't there. I sincerely hope she's going home, because that's where I'm heading. The Ember Child, Chapter 14. Oh, also, hello, Evie, welcome. Let me drink a little water. The Ember Child, Chapter 14. 10/10/2029. We're supposed to stay in basic form when not doing a test or whatever, but not everyone's sticking to that rule. Today I had to break up a fight between a couple people, Malika and Ray, who were arguing about a TV show of all things. They were actually hitting each other and had both changed to be giants. I was afraid the building would come down. I got frustrated with them ignoring me, so I used my powers too. Neither will talk to me now other than to apologize. They keep avoiding me. The others have started to keep their distance too, so I think Malika and Ray told them what happened. I'm not sure if they'll tell Dr. Hailu what I did or not. All I said to her was I dealt with the situation and it shouldn't be a problem again. I'm not sure if one of the security cameras caught what I did, but Hailu hasn't pressed it by asking for more information. I'm pretty sure I blew any chance I had of making any friends here. Am I that terrifying? Personal Journal of Page Simmons, Volume 1, pages 90 and 91. Are you insane? I ask loudly once Eterna gets home. I'm back in basic with my clothing changed to be a suit and tie, and have been waiting for her in the hallway. She's no longer shifted and is carrying a pair of oversized shoes in her hands. What? What? Eterna asks, genuine shock on her face. I grab her arm and pull her into my apartment, locking the door behind us. I push her deeper into my place, to the small sofa the unit came with. I haven't even had a chance to try it out myself. Sit, I say firmly while pointing at the seat. She looks like she's about to cry as she follows my order, leather dress shoes still in hand. I rub the bridge of my nose between my eyes. I do like my nose, so I make sure I don't do anything weird like squish it flat while rubbing it. Eterna, what the hell were you thinking? I ask. What? She asks again. Why the fuck did you go to the CoL church? Why do you think I went there? She asks defensively. I sigh. She really didn't know it was me? You were blocking my exit, I say. I have things covered with this investigation, Eterna. I am a licensed private investigator cleared to use my powers to do this kind of shit. Oh, fuck, she says. That was you? I didn't think I'd made myself look that different from my masculine form, but maybe I was wrong. Please, I begin more calmly, don't do that again. Don't worry, she says. I don't like shifting into a guy. Not that, I say. Don't try to butt in with this case, Eterna. You're going to get yourself killed. She drops the shoes. What? That guy at the church, I begin. He's a Class S with a god complex. Says there's 2 more with him in that place. I don't know if they're even connected with the kidnapping or if they're being set up by someone else. If he is behind the kidnapping, then he might just be the guy who killed people last night. The color drains out of her face, literally. Her dark skin is now gray. She shakes her head and returns to basic. You're joking, trying to scare me, she says. Jokes aren't scary, I say. Jokes make you laugh. This is no joke. This is real scary shit. I'm not sure I could take 3 Class S's in a fight. I'm really hoping the church is being set up. Either way, I watched someone kill 3 people in front of me last night. Could you take the guy last night in a fight? She asks. I honestly don't know. Not in a crowded nightclub, I say. Then I add, and you certainly wouldn't have been able to fight that guy from last night, Eterna. Much less that guy in the church. Let me handle this, okay? She stares at the shoes on the floor. One of them landed on the sole, but the other one is on its side. I can tell from the wear that the shoes are not new. Given that she said she doesn't like to shift into forms like she used at the church, I can conclude that she's not the one who wore the treads down so much. Everyone's worried about you, Eterna finally says. Who? She takes a breath and lets it out. Everyone here at Little Asgard Heights. They're worried about you out there. They know about the nightclub last night, that you were the one who held the building together, that people died, that you're investigating something. I didn't tell them what the case is about, but a couple people saw you with some detective they've read about online. The guy dropped you off a few blocks away, but they were on a walk. So, and this morning, when Thunderskull was trying to apologize, everyone saw that go down. You asking them to leave notes, whether you should move or not? No one wants you to get hurt or worse. I wish I didn't know what to say, but I go ahead and ask it. Who else is going to try to step into this mess? Eterna shakes her head. I convinced everyone to let me handle helping you out, since I know the most about the case. Thank gods, I say, deflating a bit. One person I can handle. Don't do this again, Eterna. Believe it or not, I do have it covered. I get that now, she says. I froze up at the church. I wasn't expecting the pastor to be so imposing. How is he making that halo? That shouldn't be possible. Fire, yeah, but a ring of light? Yeah, I say. I don't offer any explanations for the halo. I have a few ideas, but nothing solid. I haven't had a chance to experiment to see if I can recreate the look. No one wants you to leave, Page, Eterna adds. Everyone here feels a lot safer having a Class S in the building. Neoni didn't tell them my book? Thank you for letting me know, Eterna, I say. Now, please, go home. I've got a lot of work to do, and I'd rather know you were safe here instead of in danger because you followed me around. I didn't follow you, she protests. I know that, but I really can't have you deciding to try. After Eterna leaves, I take a shower. I'm still mulling over how exactly Ezekiel was able to make a halo over his head like that. I couldn't see anything connecting it to him. Fire is something I've been able to create with my body. Unlike Thunderskull's flaming eye sockets, the fire I can make can be hot enough to burn things. I wonder if it's something like that, but contained somehow? Like a plasma held in a magnetic field? That probably would have killed my phone or messed up the lights in the room. I didn't see or feel any heat coming from the halo. Also, the fire I can generate is connected to my body at the ignition source. Ezekiel's halo floated above his head. After my shower, I shift to generate flames from my right hand. I can feel the heat off of them using my left palm. When I attempt to make them form a ring, all I manage to do is make a cylinder of fire coming from my palm like a burner on a gas stove. Still attached, I say to myself before snuffing out the flames by closing my hand and shifting back to basic. I dress in my clothing from before. Shift-ready clothing changes back to its basic form when removed, so I have to change it again to make it look like normal street clothes before grabbing my keys, wallet, phone, and leaving. I'm halfway down the first flight of stairs, about to call Detective Windgate when my phone rings. "Hello?" I ask. "You Page?" Windgate asks. I wait to reply before saying, "Yes, this is Page." "We haven't met," he says. "I'm Lucas. I need to see you right away." "Where should I meet you?" I ask. "Same place Eugene said he was going," Lucas replies. He knows people could be listening to us. "On my way." "Come quickly, please. I don't have quite the same issues with your abilities as the others do," Lucas explains. "Got it." It takes me less time to reach the hotel by using my powers than it would taking a ride share. I'm there in under 10 minutes. The room's door opens before I can knock. Lucas answers, his hair in a side part, coat and jacket nowhere to be seen. He's wearing a tight vest and tie over a dress shirt. I wonder where the vest came from, because I don't remember Eugene nor Starling wearing one before. The only luggage I've seen in the room this whole time are the bags under Windgate's eyes. Here is Lucas. He is tired, but dapper. "Please come in," he says. I follow him inside, careful the doors shut behind us and locked. "You said you needed me here fast," I begin. "Do you have any information?" "Do you?" he asks. "Forgive me." He puts out his hand. "Lucas Windgate, he and him. It's nice to finally meet you properly." I shake his hand. "Page Simmons, she, he, they. Nice to meet you as well. Now, about the case." "Yes, I've been looking over their notes, over Eugene and Starling's notes. It's been difficult to get Starling to even keep notes, but that's a story for another day. He's better at it now than he used to be. A bit impulsive. I'm more analytical." "Yeah," I reply with a nod. He tilts his head and lets out a little huff of a laugh while taking a small notebook off the table with a pen. "I take it you went to the CoL church today, correct? What did you learn?" "I did," I say. "I didn't find any sign of the kid, but I did learn their pastor is a Class S CoL. He claims there are 2 others there. I didn't see any signs of them, but that doesn't mean he was lying. Also, the face the guy was using while he attacked the nightclub last night was from the church's maintenance guy. Dude seemed terrified of Pastor Ezekiel. And his bearing, his voice, his speech. Was there anything of either man that made you suspect they could be the one who attacked last night?" Lucas asks while writing in the notebook. Ezekiel did have that sort of holier-than-thou speech thing going on. I could tell he's not keen on Children of Loki, who aren't affiliated with his church," I say. "But the dude's a visible figure. Any CoL with enough skill would be able to mimic how he talks and frame him for the murders last night." "Interesting," Lucas says before moving over to a laptop that's set up on the hotel room's desk. He turns it around. "I did some research and determined the face captured on the security footage was indeed that of the church's groundskeeper, albeit younger. As to Ezekiel, there's no record of who he was before he gained his powers 10 years ago. There are some archived streams of the church services I was able to turn up that show Ezekiel giving sermons. Then more recently, a second and third figure have joined." "Let me guess," I say, leaning down to look at the monitor. "Each one has an impossible halo." Lucas raises an eyebrow. "Impossible halo?" "I can't figure out how he's doing it," I say. "Much less how 3 of them are doing it. I was surprised enough to hear there was a second Class S in town." Second, Lucas asks. Oh, shit, I never told Windgate I'm a Class S. I straighten up and back away from the laptop. Lucas watches me with narrowed eyes. He raises an eyebrow again. I take it you're a Class S, then? He asks calmly. I don't reply. I want to shrink in on myself, but keep from using my powers to do so. That would only make things worse. It's all right, Paige. As I said before, I don't have the same hang-ups Eugene and Starling do in regards to Children of Loki and the police, he says. If you are a Class S, that's a benefit to us. I release a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Yes, right, I am a Class S. Wonderful, Lucas says. Now, you were surprised to learn of these other Class S CoLs because of your rarity. I can do some research in the registration databases and find other Class S ranks residing in or around Austin. He cracks his knuckles before grabbing a chair and sitting down in front of the laptop. His fingers move so quickly it's hard for me to keep up with what he's doing. Even still, I'm sure I'm missing some things as he proceeds to hack into the first of several CoL registration databases that are supposed to be incredibly secure. Here we are, Lucas says. Ezekiel is indeed a registered Class S, one of 2 in the city. Your change of address has yet to be updated in the system. Wait, what? I lean over his shoulder to look at the screen. Every CoL in the city is listed. Every registered CoL, that is. My name isn't there yet. I wonder if it's been delayed because I moved over the weekend. Ezekiel is listed as having only the single name Ezekiel, as well as being a Class S. The database even included when he first gained his powers, February 17th, the same day I did. It has a home address listed that isn't the church. He doesn't live at the church? I ask. His mailing address is... Lucas begins, and then pauses as he inspects the screen more. His upper lip twitches before he sneers. That bastard. What is it, Lucas? He points at the address on the screen. Our clients live in the same gated community as Ezekiel. Wait, what? Based on the address, I'd say they're only a few blocks away from one another. Shit, I say. I need to go check that out. You what? Lucas pushes away from the computer. Alone? Well, yeah, I say. I can sneak into the house. Hey, have you been able to get a hold of the clients, the Williamses? He shakes his head. I've even gone so far as to ping their phones. Nothing. I won't ask how you did that, I say. I have been busy this morning. Okay, so give me an earpiece. You can stay here, do your computer stuff while I sneak into that house. Reluctantly, I have to agree this is as good an idea as any. And that is the end of Chapter 14. If you have been enjoying listening to me read Book of CoL, the Ember Child here on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And don't forget that you can read the book in its entirety for free on Tapas. Thank you.